Okay, good afternoon everyone. In behalf of Group 1, I am here to present the lesson plan that we crafted. So the lesson plan for the grade 8 students, for the English 8. So we have here the learning competency, read intensively to determine the author's purpose. So we get this learning competency from our curriculum guide. So from this competency, we have here the word intensively and determine the author's purpose. So, specific na kung unsa ang way of reading sa students. So, intensive reading will be used in this discussion. So, we already know what's the difference between intensive and extensive reading. So, in intensive reading, they are to read short text, in order to extract specific information. So, what information that will extract? And that is the author's purpose, Unlike kasi extensive reading, it's time-consuming and they are to read long text. So intensive reading, they are to read short text, and they will be able to get out to extract information of it. So intensive reading is commonly used in the class because again it's short text, while intensive reading is time consuming and they can read books outside the class. So out from this competency, we crafted also our objectives. So at the end of the period, 90% of the students will be able to first determine the author's purpose through intensive reading in each given text. Next, we have discriminate the texts according to author's purpose through a task card activity. And here we have the third objective, create a mini poster that persuade, inform, or entertain the reader. So here, the first objective na kuana jud niya dayon ang ato ang learning competency, which to determine the author's purpose. So na-achieve na dayon na siya sa ato ang competency. So atong tan-awon if this objectives are will be achieved or will be hit in our teaching and learning activity. So I labeled the first objective as the yellow one. So we have here, diri na to ma-achieve ang atuang first objective or the cognitive domain sa activity proper. And we have here the second objective, the green one, it will be achieved in our application. And then the third one or the psychomotor domain will be achieved in our assessment part. Okay, for the first objective, basically this is the cognitive domain. So determine is our verb here. So it pertains to the mental skills that the students will get out from this discussion. We are to determine the author's purpose through intensive reading. So it will be realized in our test phase, the RTA na activity, so on. As the teacher will go along in the discussion proper. And then our second objective it pertains to the value that they will get out from the students, that the value that the students will get out from this teaching and learning process. The value that they will get out from this lesson or the topic. So they are to discriminate the text according to author's purpose through a task card activity. So na-mention na ako na ma-achieve na siya sa ato ang application part. And then the third one is the psychomotor or the skill. As what Dr. Sitting said, this is our culminating activity that the students will do, after they discuss, after some activities. So this will be the skill that the students will get out from the lesson. Alright, so I will not discuss it one by one. We will diretso ta sa ato ang approach, methods, and the technique. Okay, the approach that we utilized that we used is in this discussion is the top-down approach. I think mali ang pagkakuan. I think baliktad ata ang kuan. Ay basta, mo na siya ang represent murag kuan nila para mas madali na masabta. Top-down approach, through content-centered approach. Content-centered because the teacher will provide reading materials, reading text, and the students will just read those texts and determine the author's purpose of the text. So top-down approach is is appropriate in the learning competency because it activates the prior knowledge, the experiences of the students, and then they will get all the derived meaning out of it. They will extract information out from it, and in this case, they are to determine the author's purpose. Unlike kasi sa bottom-up approach, they are to nag-focus sa letters, the mga basic skills like sa matching sounds with the letters, syllables, and words. Basta top-down approach is bagay siya sa kaning competency. And kasi top-down kasi it emphasizes on the meaning. So sa masang gingon, so author's purpose. So reading is not just extracting meaning from a text, but mo na siya ang top-down. Reading is not just extracting meaning from a text, but a process of connecting information in the text with the knowledge that the reader brings to the act of reading. So mo na siya. So how will be able to how will the teacher will realize this kind of approach nga iyahang gigamit nga to tap their experience of the students and derive meaning out from the reading material that the students will read. So it will be realized through the methods that we will be used, and we adapt this kind of method sa katong ETR method na experience phase, test phase, and the relationship phase. Sa experience phase, this is the part or sa nakuan to siya nga pre-reading, pre-reading kuan siya nga activity. How will strategize that this method will be achieved, and the approach will also be as well as the approach is concerned. So we will do a think, pair, share activity. So, kung inyo na siyang makuha dito sa atong lesson plan, the think, pair, share activity, this is the activity that the students will, the teacher will tap out the experiences of the students and activate the prior knowledge regarding the text that they read. Maguna-una sila unsa ang mga reading materials that they enjoy reading as mentioned in the instruction dito sa among lesson plan. So how will the student, what will be the techniques of the teacher nga what will be the technique of the teacher nga para matap niya experiences of the students? Nanadira siya sa activity sa mo ang mismo, siya mismo sa activity, sa methods or sa strategy, which is to share. So after they will think and they will find a partner, the students will share what they discuss. So matap nimo ang experience as a student through sharing what they discussed from their partner. And then after the tapping out the experiences, we have here the test phase. So basically this is the time where the students will read the text or during reading activity. So how will strategize or what will be the method that will be used? So the DRTA will be used, directing, reading, or thinking activity. So DRT, directed reading, thinking activity. In this part, from the directing, this is the part where the teacher will, the students will predict, they will skim, they will scan what unsa ba ni siya nga text, unsa ba nag-persuade, nag-inform, o nag-entertain ba ni sa ilaha as what stated in our learning competency. And then the reading, pag-read nila, magkuhan sila, maanto ang students mag-predict kung unsa ba ni siya, out from what they read, they will predict unsa ba ni siya, nag-inform, nag-entertain, nag-persuade. And then the thinking part, this is where they will confirm or refute if they read is their predictions are correct or wrong. So mo na siya dira ang test phase or the during reading part. And how will what will be the techniques of the teacher para ma-achieve po na siya ang strategy or method. So, basically, mag-ask of questions ang teacher kung sa ilang predictions out from the text. So, mo na siya dira sa atong think, pair, DRTA, sorry. And then, we have here the last part is the relationship phase. And, no, kung sa may connection, no, sa ilahang nabasa, sa after the discussion, sa may relationship ani, sa may ilang makuha ani. So, make and read activity, method or strategy will be, will be utilized. So, ako siyang balikon dito sa ato ang lesson plan, ha. Make and read. So, sa make, the students will make a mini poster nga naa dira, magbutang po sila text dito. It will be either persuade, inform, or entertain the reader or their classmates. So, it's up to them kung sa ilahang gamiton, ay sa ilahang purpose na gamiton. And then, out from it, after nila makabuhat o mini poster, they will read it in front, no? And the teacher will ask each group, to present and read their work in front of the classmates. And the classmates will, identify or guess what's the purpose of the text that they read. So, in this phase, in order for the students to relate, ideas from the text they read to their own experience, they are going to do a post-reading activity that will help in achieving that. So, in this task, they will make a poster that will either persuade, inform, or entertain the reader. They will not be able to do the task if they do not have the vast experiences in reading persuasive. So, di naman po nila ni mabuhat kung wala po sila knowledge what's persuasive text, informative, or entertaining text. So, muna dyan siya ang relationship na part. So, if this task, if you are thinking, why does this writing or making a poster is this task instead of assessing their comprehension? Because, again, we are in the reading, gina-focus na to ang reading. So, we believe na this kind of task is the most advanced, post-reading activity that the students can achieve. So, indeed, reading and writing are related. So, konektado dyan na ang reading on writing. So, according to some research, when students receive writing instruction, their reading comprehension will also improve. That's our reason why we chose this kind of activity. So, if this approach and the method, the strategy, the techniques will be implemented, will be employed, will be used by the teacher in the teaching and learning process, then we will be able to carry out what's asked of us in our learning competency, which is to determine the author's purpose. And that would be all. Thank you.